What is going on, YouTube? Joe here with Culination Media, and welcome back for another live Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Wi-Fi battle against a subscriber/follower on Twitter. Today, we are going up against Samuel, or Samuel, depending on where he is from, in an RU battle. And I'm bringing a pretty... I guess you could say it's a balanced team. I've got a little bit of everything going on here. I've got some slow stuff, I've got some choiced users, I've got some offensive Pokemon. And while we're talking about that, I guess I should go over the team. I have Bulk Up Girder, which is a lot of fun to use in RU, and I think that's actually the tier that it really belongs in. I don't think it should be NU, but that's just my opinion. Then I have Choice Scarf Haunter. Scarf Destiny Bond is quite scary, and yeah, Shadow Ball and Sludge Bomb hit pretty hard. I'm actually running Timid, so we can outspeed other Scarfers and things that like to boost their speed a little bit. Then we have Physically Defensive Qwilfish. I almost called that Corfish. Qwilfish, which is going to be our Spike Setter. It also is packing the Destiny Bond, so we can take down things with us, especially setup sweepers, bulkier things that our team would have a hard time with otherwise. I think Scald is our attacking move, packing the Black Sludge, and I think I also have Taunt to prevent other hazards and things like that, because Qwilfish is not too slow, even though I don't have much investment in speed. So where did I leave off here? Oh yes, then we have Harold, the Houndoom, and this is actually going to form a pretty decent core with Plasma, the Reuniclus, because Reuniclus is Future Sight Choice Specs with Regenerator over Magic Guard. And basically what that means is I can fire off a Future Sight and then go into my Houndoom, which is running Life Orb with Pursuit, and trap things like Slowking that would normally like to switch in on the Future Sight. So that means that, and we see the Slowking here, so that is even more interesting. We might get to see the strategy in action. But basically it forces your opponent to, or my opponent, to sack a Pokemon at that point. So we'll see how that goes. The Houndoom is mixed. It's also packing Fire Blast and Crunch, as well as Sucker Punch, so 3 dark moves on it. And last but not least, we are leading with our Specially Defensive Miltank, which is packing the Thick Fat, and it's also our Stealth Rocker. Has Heal Bell as well, so we have a Cleric going on. My opponent is going to lead off with the normal Rotom. I'm expecting this to be Scarfed or Specs. Either way, I'm going to set up a Stealth Rock here, because it doesn't look like he has anything to get rid of hazards, unless he's running Defog on that Braviary, which is possible. But looking at his team, it really just didn't look like he was going to have that, but I guess we'll see. And he's going to go into Brock, the Regirock, and to be honest, I didn't mention this at Team Preview because I was still going over my team, but I'm thinking that my main way of beating this is either going to be to set up on it with Girder, because this is setup fodder, or we're going to have to Destiny Bond it. I really don't see a way around it. This thing is so stupidly bulky that I really have no way to take it out otherwise. Now, I realize he could have EQ. I don't think he's going to go for it here, so I am going to go into Qwilfish, because I can stop him from rock polishing if he doesn't go for it this turn. I'm expecting, I was actually expecting rocks there, but he decides to go for the Power-Up Punch, so that leads me to believe that this thing is Assault Vest, which means I'm definitely going to need to Destiny Bond it. Now, if he has EQ, that's not going to kill me here at +1, because I'm a Qwilfish, and that's non-stab, so I will go for Spike here. I'm relatively safe in doing so, and like I said, I don't think he has a way to get rid of hazards unless he breaks out the Defog on the Braviary. But he is going to go for the Rock Slide, so he doesn't have EQ, and we are definitely going to be able to take another Rock Slide there, judging by that damage. That didn't even do half. So I could set up another layer of Spike here, and then Destiny Bond him the following turn. Yeah, that's looking like what I want to do. I mean, Qwilfish could be useful just to get the Intimidate off on things like Braviary. But for the rest of his team, like Pyroar beats it, Roselia will most likely beat it. So that looks to be the plan. So I'm going to set up another layer of Spike here, and then we will Destiny Bomb the next turn, and we should be golden and remove this thing and not have too many issues later on in the match. So he's just going to go for the Rock Slide again. He's going to connect on that. We don't have to worry about a flinch. Oh no! Oh no! He gets a critical hit. I may have just lost. Crap. That was like the worst possible timing. If he got a critical hit the first turn, he went for Rock Slide, it wouldn't have killed me, and I still could have pulled off a Destiny Bond. That was like the worst possible timing. Oh my goodness, that stinks. We're still going to try to make a comeback, though. I still have Destiny Bond on Haunter, but I would have to stack another Pokemon to this thing. He is going to switch out, as I'm going to set up a bulk up here. And he's going to go out into the Rotom, which is fine by me, because I can just kill this with a knockoff. Yeah, the most he can do is T-Bolt me. He's not going to Willow me, because I do have Guts, and I know that he knows this, so... yeah, we'll just go straight for the knockoff. It hits everything on his team for solid damage, so if he does decide to Volt Switch, we can hit things for a lot of damage, so it'll be fun. He opts to just sack his Rotom by going for the T-Bolt here. That does a solid chunk. That did a little bit more than anticipated. Maybe that's Specs? Looking at his team, though, it looked like it was Scarf. Yeah, he is Choice Scarf. That just did a lot of damage. I always underestimate the power of Rotom, though. So that's out of the way. No more Choice Scarf user for him, which is nice, which does mean Haunter has free reign to outspeed everything, although I outsped Rotom anyway, because Haunter just naturally outspeeds and I'm running Timid. So that is that. We'll see what he wants to go into here. I'm guessing maybe Roselia, because I can't kill that in one hit, but I can get rid of its Eviolite, and I don't know if he wants that. He's going to go into the Braviary, actually, right now. And at +1, even with the Stealth Rock damage, I don't think that a Mach Punch kills. In fact, I'm pretty sure it comes just short of killing. So, I mean, I guess it also depends on what his spread is. No, I'm pretty sure that's just offensive Braviary. So, I kind of need to switch here. I can't risk him going for Brave Bird. If he has the Defog, he's going to go for it right here, because he does have a Pyroar. So he's going to not want that taking all the hazard damage. That thing is going to likely be Specs or Life Orb. If this Braviary turns out to be Defog, then it probably is Defog with Life Orb, and the Pyroar is Specs. So I guess we'll get some useful information here this turn. But I am going to switch out. I'm not going to risk it. I'm not going to just sack this thing, because now it's the only thing I have that can beat Regirock. So I will go out into the Miltank, as he does show off the Defog, actually. I really was thinking this thing was going to be like Choice Bandit or something. But then, at that point, then it's like, do you have 3 Choice users? Because the Pyroar is usually running Specs. But like I said, that can also be Life Orb. But that would not be the craziest thing, because this is a subscriber of mine, and there's been teams where I've had like 3 or 4 choice users because I'm bad. So he's going to go for the Brave Bird. And that does so much damage. Oh my goodness. I'm not physically defensive though, so I guess that makes sense. But we're going to kill this thing, hopefully. No, he's actually going to live the Body Slam, sadly. And I don't have hazards up, which means he can switch out if he wants to. Now, the question is, he's got a decision to make here. Does he want to switch out and risk me getting up rocks again? Because if he switches and I put up Stealth Rocks, this Braviary's dead coming back in. And the Rocks are going to stay up for the entirety of the match. His best play is probably just to go for Brave Bird again, because I have no switch-ins. My only switch-in was Qwilfish, and yeah, that died. I was going to let it die anyway, but it didn't die on his own terms. Poor Quinn. Poor Quinn. Do I need a Miltank? That is the question. It does wall the Roselia. But if I can get some bulk ups up, I can potentially handle that with Girder. I mean, and he won't be able to one-shot Reuniclus either, and I can kill him with a Psychic, because I am a Choice Specs. Yeah, I'm running a really weird set. I've got Future Sight and Psychic on that. And I'm actually very tempted to switch it in here, because he can't kill me. So, in fact, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to save Miltank. Because he's Life Orb, he cannot OHKO this Reuniclus. So he's going to do a lot of damage. Oh, he has Roost. I should have predicted that. So he's got Brave Bird, Defog, Roost. U-turn? Or does he have normal stab? I mean, I'm pretty safe just going for a Future Sight here, I would think. Because he can't kill me. And then I couldn't go right into Houndoom, depending on what he does, to trap that Slow King wanting to switch in. I feel like this is going to come down to the end, and I really feel like that Qwilfish dying earlier on without getting rid of the Regirock is going to come back to bite me. So he is going to switch. I have to go for Psychic over the Future Sight, but he does actually go right into the Slowking. He doesn't want to mess around with this, I guess. And that still does solid damage. I mean, that's a Slowking. That is a Slowking. He does show off the lefties, so that at least eliminates the potential for an Assault Vest. But the question is, what do I want to go into here? And the answer is I want to go into Miltank, because unless he has Psyshock, he's not killing me in one hit with anything. Even if he does have Psyshock, I don't know if that'll kill from there, because he's defensive. So he's actually Calm Mind, which is terrible. That's actually really, really bad, because that means he also has Slack Off, and I don't know what I have that can handle this. I could try to Milk Drink here. I could even set up rocks again if I wanted to, but I'm just going to give this Slowking free turns to set up, and I really don't like that. I'm going to have to kill this thing with the Destiny Bond, which means I'm going to have to sacrifice Haunter, because, yeah, he got up a free Calm Mind already. So I'm going to expect him to go for another Calm Mind here, because I can't do anything to him, so I will just set up a Stealth Rock to make sure that that is up, and he's going to fire off a Scald. That will not kill me. Hopefully he doesn't get a burn here. He does get the burn. We live with 4 HP, but the lefties are not going to be enough to save us. That is not good. It's a 30% chance, though, so I guess you have to expect that it's going to happen. That's just a bit unfortunate. Poor Mudu. But at least we were able to get up the rocks again. I don't know if that Braviary is going to get another chance to defog, which means we will get off that nice damage on the Pyroar, which could potentially put it in range of a Mach Punch, which means that I might not have to even take a hit from it, which would be great. Which would be great. So at this point, going into Houndoom doesn't really do me any good. I can't OHKO it with a Crunch. He is Calm Mind, so he's most likely completely physically defensive. So yeah, it would just be a waste. +1 Scald will probably just kill Houndoom. He's pretty frail. So I am going to go into Spook the Haunter, and it might be pretty obvious that I'm just going to fire off a Destiny Bond here, but I don't have any other play. So otherwise, I'm just going to get swept by this thing. So I will fire off the Destiny Bond, and he does opt to kill me with a Psyshock. So I'm guessing his full moveset was Psyshock, Scald, Slack Off, Calm Mind. Sounds about right. Sounds about right indeed. But Slow Queen, the Slow King, is going to go down, so that's another huge threat out of the way. And now it's looking like the Regirock is the biggest threat to my team. If he flinches my Girder a few times, I lose, because I can't kill it with anything else. I am suspecting that that thing is AV, which means that Psychic will not be an OHKO, even with some prior damage. So that kind of stinks. Now the question is, what are you going to go into here? Maybe the Roselia, so I am going to go into the Reuniclus because I can OHKO that. He actually goes right into the Regirock. That's not good. That is not good. Now, I can get a lot of damage off on this with a Psychic. I could try to OHKO him with a Focus Blast. But the problem is, do I want to risk missing that? Or I could just fire off a Future Sight here just because he has nothing for that. So he is going to go for the Rock Slide. That doesn't do too much. Unfortunately, we're going to flinch. What is happening? Please don't flinch me again. Please don't flinch me again. I have to take all this unnecessary damage on Reuniclus now. And finally, we get off a Future Sight. I probably should have just went for Focus Blast there, but I mean, I wanted to kill something. He has to sack something now. And it could be Braviary, but that means I get a relatively safe switch into the Girder, and I can potentially set up. So we'll see what he wants to do. He does opt to just go for Rock Slide again. And I don't know if he's going to want to take that damage, as he gets a crit. Come on, RNG gods, really? The crit on Qwilfish, and we're going to flinch, another crit. Please just leave me alone. I just want to play. I just want to play and have a chance to win here. So he is going to switch out, and he's going to go back into the Braviary. So he's going to sack that, essentially. because that's not taking a Specs Future Sight. But I went for Drain Punch anyway, just to get some HP back. So, yeah, that, I guess, didn't really work out the way I wanted it to. And I think that may have been a misplay on my part. Getting damage off of that Regirock would have been invaluable. So I probably should have done that instead of giving him an option to sack something. Now he's going to go into Mufasa, which is a great nickname for Pyroar. And he'll take the Stealth Rock damage. I don't know if a Mach Punch kills. I mean, at +1, I would think that it would. But I'm not so sure about unboosted. And I don't know. I mean, even if he's Life Orb, I don't know if I'm taking a hit. I could go into Houndoom here, because I don't need it for much. Because the only thing I'd be saving it for at this point would be the Roselia. But the... yeah, Houndoom doesn't do anything for me. Because Reuniclus beats Roselia. And Girder beats Regirock. So I don't think Hyper Voice will kill me, actually. I'm pretty sure that Hyper Voice does like 90% to a Houndoom. Even if he is Specs. Huh. Which means I would be able to get a Sucker Punch off. And if he's Life Orb, he's going to take extra damage. So I guess this is a win-win for me. So I will go out into Houndoom here. I feel like that's my best play in this position. Because I don't think Mach Punch will kill from there. He opts to go for the Hyper Voice so as to not activate my Flash Fire. He is Specs. And we do survive with 10 as expected, which means we can get off a Sucker Punch here. He really has no reason to switch, because if he does switch back in, he will be within range of a Mach Punch. So we're going to actually die to our own Life Orb here. He is locked into the Hyper Voice, so that's what he's going to go for. And now we get another safe switch back into the Girder to finish off the Pyroar. And so he's down to Regirock and Roselia. I do beat the Roselia with the Reuniclus, though. As long as we don't lose Girder. If Girder doesn't beat Regirock, though, I think that's just game. And actually, his better play would be to just go into Roselia here. Because I'm pretty sure if he's offensive and he goes for Sludge Bomb, that's a 2-hit KO on Reuniclus. I think he has the game here because of that. That Qwilfish at the beginning, I keep going back to that, replaying it in my mind. Yeah, because now I have that extra damage, even though I got the Regenerator. That extra turn of Rock Slide. That's not good. So I have to stay in here, basically, because I know he's going to go for an attacking move. I have to go for knockoff, I guess. Yeah, I mean, switching to Reuniclus doesn't do me any good. I don't think there's a way I can win here. So that Regirock is going to end up clinching him the game. So he is going to go for the Giga Drain, I guess, just to, you know, get a little bit of HP back, because every little bit does matter. And I will go for the knockoff. So we're going to get rid of this thing's Eviolite, which is nice. The extra damage from Mach Punch really doesn't do me any good. Actually, it might put him in range. Does it put him in range of a Focus Blast? Yeah, I think even without Eviolite, a Focus Blast won't kill. Because I have to lock myself into something when I go into Reuniclus. And if I lock myself into Psychic, that's not going to kill AV Regirock. So I have to go for Mach Punch. And he's going to go for Giga Drain here and get some of that HP back again. So, yeah, Heath goes down. That's going to be the game, unfortunately. Because he gets all that HP back, Focus Blast is not going to be enough to KO him from there. Pretty sure that I would have to hit 2 Focus Blasts, depending. I mean, he outspeeds me anyway, so 2 Giga Drains would be enough to kill me. There's really nothing I can do. I mean, I'm going to have to hope for a crit on the Regirock with Psychic, I guess. Or I could be wrong about that being Assault Vest. And if that's the case, maybe I have a chance at OHKOing it. I don't know. We'll have to see. We shall see. As we go into Plasma, and I will... yeah, I have to go for Psychic. I want to click Focus Blast so bad. Either way, I'd have to get a crit, and I'd have to land 2 Focus Blasts. Actually, 2 Giga Drains would not kill. But I think I still have to take a hit from Regirock, don't I? I mean, Reuniclus is so ridiculously slow, so it's like, what's the point? So Psychic will take out the Roselia, and he should be able to come in and clinch with a Rock Slide here, as he does take a little bit of extra damage. If he was an AV, a Spec Psychic might kill from there. Possibly. So yeah, he does outspeed me, as I figured, because Reuniclus is slow as anything. So he's just going to fire off a Rock Slide, as somehow we managed to survive with 1 HP. Fire off that Psychic. I'm pretty sure without that AV, it would have been a damage roll at that point, from the looks of it. But he's just going to finish me off, showing off one of his other moves, which turns out to be the Ice Punch. And poor little Plasma is going to go down. And that is going to be a win for our opponent, Samuel. I'm not sure exactly how you're supposed to pronounce it. That was still a great game, despite some of the hacks going on there. It's bound to happen, so can't get too caught up about it. And I've been pretty lucky as of late anyway, so I'm certainly not going to dwell on it too much. So congrats on the win, my friend, Samuel. And if you guys see him down in the comment section below, he's usually lurking down there. See him every now and then. If you see him down there, give him a GG. And yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. So we got 2 more battles with this team. Hopefully we pull out some victories. And with that being said, that's going to be it for this time. So if you guys enjoyed, please make sure you're leaving a like, rating, or a comment, or whatever you would like to do. And I will see you all next time. But until then, game on.